I'm here with Megan Kurth and Tim Thompson, and we're talking about viticulture in the school. Tim, how did it all start?
Well, as you know, Ian, viticulture is a really important part of the Yarra Valley, and a bit over a decade ago, the then Principal Bernard Dobson decided that Mount Lilydale Mercy College should reflect the community in the Yarra Valley and have some vines of its own. So as a result of that, he commissioned the maintenance staff to construct a vineyard of just under an acre, which you see before us. It's 8 rows of Cabernet. And that was looked after by the maintenance team. They always had a view to eventually teach viticulture and winemaking at the school, but they were unable to find at the start staff that were able to carry out the complete process to the end, because it's quite a complex job. So it was made originally commercially by a vineyard down the road, until last year, when I was employed by the current principal, Mr. Philip Morrison, and given the undertaking to try and bring the wine program into the general community of the school and try and integrate it across what we do to reflect how people are employed in the valley. So Megan, one of my Year 12 students, who's a stellar student, is a reflection of how a vineyard can be used. She's actually made it her Year 12 agriculture project to market the wine and to bring the first ever student-made vintage to the general public. We've had fantastic response from the wine growing community. We've got a lot of support from places like Yering Station and Five Oaks Wines. Yering have gone out of their way to try and support us with technical support and barrels and things like that. And as a result, it's kept about 40 Year 10 students involved in the process of making the wine, and Megan and some other students involved in the process as well, managing pests and disease on the vineyard, overseeing the picking of the fruit, conducting experiments on the wine while it ferments. And so it's become a real vital part of what students do in agriculture. We've also had students involved in various other aspects of marketing the wine, which we'll probably talk about in the near future.
Megan, tell us how the idea of launching your first vintage came.
We had to choose a business for our VC assessment, and because I have a passion for wine, I chose the vines as my idea. And as part of this assessment, we have to sell the wine, and that's how the launch came about, to sell the wine at that.
Tell me, how long have you been interested in viticulture?
I've been interested in viticulture probably from about Year 10. I've always loved biology, and I looked at doing botany at the beginning. But when Mum and Dad took me around vines and like wineries in South Africa, it just really sparked my interest, and that's where I now want to end up as a career.
So after leaving here, where would you, or what's your next step in your career?
Well, my next step is to do a Bachelor of Agriculture and then do wine. You can do breadth subjects, so wine is part of that. Then after that, hopefully to do a honours and then a PhD. And then from that, hopefully own my own winery as well as my own restaurant. So put both food and wine together.
Tim, tell us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, I have a postgraduate diploma in viticulture. I've also studied part of the master's program at Melbourne Uni for a short period of time in viticulture. I also have a science degree and a couple of teaching degrees. My original interest in viticulture was sparked back in the early 90s, where I was very dissatisfied with my current job and went to prune on a vineyard for the winter just to sort myself out and get my head in the right place. From doing that, I was offered traineeships and scholarships and so on to continue studying and learning about viticulture, and ended up managing 5 vineyards in a consortium for a group of owners. At which point of time I sort of realised that I also had a passion for interacting with people and for serving the community. And so I took up a teaching position at Swinburne University, teaching viticulture at the Lilydale campus, where I was the trainee coordinator working with David Braybrook. And we had about 20 or 25 students through the Yarra Valley, and so that I suppose, was where my passion for teaching emerged, and I put myself through yet more study to learn how to be a teacher and to take that further, because I had such positive experiences working with people on the land, training them up to better their lives and the lives of others around them. So that's where my passion for teaching came from.
Megan, you've always had an interest, well, since year 10, but with your other students here, have any of them sort of started to develop an interest in viticulture and want to pursue it in the future?
I think some of them have. I know some of them do work at wineries as well. I know one of my best friends works at Yering Station. But I think more, I know in my year level, I think more just me. I know people have become more interested in the industry itself, but not necessarily in the way in which it's processed.
Several of you have become employed this year through your experiences in doing viticulture at the school and through the contacts that you made, so it's been a good story, hasn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Tim, tell us about the agriculture and horticultural course that the program that you've got going here.
Yeah, well, there's several of us teaching agriculture and horticulture at the school. There's myself and my colleague David Banfield and a number of other staff who are involved. And we have a range of activities for students from years 9 to 12. We actually teach it at this college as a VCE subject, which is becoming rare in Victoria now, more's the pity. And students can get involved with the goat program that we have at the school, where we actually breed boar goats and exhibit them at the Royal Melbourne Show. They can get involved in field production of vegetable crops. They can get involved in working in the hothouse, doing horticultural production, where they actually grow product to be able to be sold. They can work with the small orchard that we have at the school, or indeed with the viticulture program, and make wine. Mario De Vincentis is a local member of the community who was an agricultural producer up until recently when he retired, and he and his brother actually produce about $10,000 worth of tomato plants every year at the school, and they've been very kind and very generous in spending their time with our students in years 9 and 10, and they actually assist those gentlemen in the production of the tomato plants now. And it's really great to see our students using the skills in propagation that they've learnt in the classroom, converting that to a community service and to a product that actually helps others. And so I'd like to thank very much Mario De Vincentis and his brother for the time that they spend guiding the students and working with them on that.